Press cross button.
We need to pull you off your tail for now. Are you ready to fight?
Always.
It was a rhetorical question.
Oh, no trouble, eh? Too fucking bad. Oi! Take your story. Never. Oh! Wanker! Nobody can help me.
What's going on?
Go! Me don't want to get violent now!
The bug, nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain.
Yum yum.
Hello, Resistance fans. You're listening to the
Auto
Bug
drive now
Podcast, the
enabled.
objective voice of objection for this most objectionable world. I am Andy, not my real name, so good luck finding me, Monsieur Bloom. My real name is, in fact, Andrew, and I live in, note this down, a deluded pseudo-reality of my own making, which is, in fact, the most densely populated place on Earth these days. Overcrowded, some might say. Joining me, as always, my next-door neighbour in these Netherlands of nonsense. It's Alice.
Yes, indeed, it is Alice. Alice, who the bleep is Alice? I am not going to tell you
Auto
that.
drive now disabled.
You can just sort of sense it from the timbre of my voice.
Let's spin the wheel and find out where we're getting today's news from. Here. It's coming from here. I must get a new wheel with at least one other place
Auto
on
drive
it.
now
And
disabled.
the headline today, Alice, our borders are safe. We can all sleep easy in our well-bordered beds. 4,000 illegals were deported last month.
I'm here now.
The server is there somewhere. Once you're hooked up, we can see exactly where the false reports are coming from.
Okay, I'm on it.
Haven't seen something so jolly in years. Brilliant.
Something over there? Who shut this up?
Don't let the tit get away. Drew, perform a
Not
search.
seeing anything here. Moving elsewhere. It's shut. Get with it.
What a connection.
The anonymous reports on our friend read like a terrorist's shopping list. Van rental, bulk fertilizer purchase, bulk petrol purchase.
Sounds an awful lot like someone trying to build a car bomb.
Yes, only it can't have been her. The timestamps on these reports don't match our GPS tracking. Someone out there must be about to launch an attack, and they want her to take the fall.
Shit! Last thing we need is another bomb hurting people. Bagley, go through those false reports and see if you can find where them come from.
I traced the IP back to a known Clan Kelly hideout. That's where we'll find our culprits.
I ain't getting caught up in this.
Nothing more than I hate corrupt ass authorities. The people that are supposed to be protecting us. That promise to protect us. That we pay to protect us. Doing the exact opposite. And for the benefit of doing themselves.
I've got a vehicle with a Wi-Fi bomb detonator somewhere on the premises. Get me a link up and I can disable it.
Say no more.
I'm done with this. Someone's gonna get blown the fuck up. Come on then, you wank stain. Come on. Shit. Give it up.
There's the bomb.
Bagley boy, showtime.
Disarming it now.
This area is being recorded by the GBB.
The only way it's exploding is if it's hit with another, larger bomb.
Hell yes! Big up!
Now get out of there so we can contact our friend.
You really want them scraping you off the street?
You won't believe it. Those Kelly dogs were setting you up on CTOS. So they could put a carbon on you. Madness. But don't worry, we fixed it for you.
Seriously? I owe you, big time.
Dead Set Crew is always looking to grow. You want to roll with us?
Yes. I think we'll make a formidable team.
But that was because I've been watching World War II movies where the Germans all have English accents. They speak in that very, precise way. It's very, we have ways of making you talk. And now Germans all have that American accent where it's all like, oh, welcome to the party. We're having a really nice time. They're much friendlier Germans. Let them stay.
Well, that's all today, Bugsters. Remember, it's not as bad as it seems. Honestly. I hope. Until next time, bye-bye.
Coming up today on The Upload, we're talking about Skye Larson, the enigmatic founder of Broca Tech. Everyone knows her name, but no one knows too much about her, and we only really see her these days as a hologram. She was pretty young when she launched Broca Tech, the company that is best known for introducing Bagley to the world. Nowadays, it's hard to remember a world before Bagley.
Bagley is the most advanced, significant AI of our time, and it's really blown all the other AIs that were created out of the water. And I think that what Skye Larson's done with Bagley is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I can't really imagine the optic without it. But what do you know about Skye Larson herself?
Not a lot, other than that she's actually pretty incredible. I've followed her work for a long time, and she's always been a pretty private person. I know that she supposedly grew up in the countryside, but there isn't actually that much more we know about her other than this tech that she's put out into the world.
I've always found it a bit creepy that she's so obsessed with this idea of transhumanism.
Why wouldn't you be? When you've got a mind as amazing as Skye's, why wouldn't you want to take what you've got and actually augment it by working with technology, by improving your physical self, changing your body and the world around you, implementing more technology to extend your life and really sort of extend human capabilities?
You sound pretty much in love with Skye Larson, I have to say.
I can't comment on that, but I am a big fan of her work. She's been one of these people that has transformed the world around us, and just watching how her mind works from afar is pretty incredible, because some of what the technology she's introduced has changed how we all live our lives, and Bagley has been this really incredible assistance to humanity as a whole. Did I ever tell you that I actually interviewed Skye Larson once?
Really? I thought she never spoke to the media or anything.
So this was a long time ago, back in the day when she was a little bit more accessible, and she was one of these people that just had an amazing presence. You were inspired by her very being, and she was just incredibly talented and knowledgeable, and one of possibly the best living people that I've ever met.
I'm not sure you're being too objective there. I imagine she's not very likable as a person.
She obviously despises humanity in some ways. I think she believes that becoming data is preferable to being human. She's one of these people who's extremely methodical in everything that she does, and she does everything to perfection and really tries to change the world around her and make it a better place for us to live in.
If you say so.
It's recipes I learn at home. Recipes I cook at home. Recipes that make Salt Cray a home to everyone. Salt Cray, Caribbean food, the Caribbean way. Cryptocurrency accepted.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. with me, Tash. It's hard to believe that there could be shortages of food and medicine in an advanced country like ours, and yet here we are. Those old government promises of adequate food turned out to be just another lie. Today we're short of basic foodstuffs and vital medical supplies. Hundreds have already died of conditions that could be easily cured. The black market means that criminal gangs like Clan Kelly run our cities. And Prime Minister Dev Hassani isn't even around to pretend to care. How do we go from a consumer paradise to a place of empty shelves and fighting for supplies? What turns a land of plenty into a wild west of hoarding, food battles and black market barons? We protect everyone who comes on the podcast by keeping their identities a secret. Here's veteran political reporter Ian on the power behind shortages.
Look, I mean, what was the first thing that happened when
disabled.
Britain sealed itself off? Like, the first stuff that got stopped from coming in was fresh food. I mean, we could live without the fresh food. I mean, everyone's quality of life got instantly worse. The most damaging part was when the radioactive isotopes stopped coming in. Now, radioactive isotopes, that's what we use in cancer screening, cancer treatment. Now, that stuff, it has a short half-life. Used to save hundreds of thousands of lives just by screening for cancer, let alone testing for cancer. But that stuff has a half-life of 66 hours. As soon as those walls went up, there was just no time to bring it into the country, and that is when people started dying. And then the medicines. The thing is, there's loads of medicines that you just can't stockpile. There was a moment before it took place when actually there was some effort to try and stockpile some of the medicines. There was some things that could be done. For a lot of it, there was simply nothing that could be done. We had a major problem with drugs for schizophrenia. So we saw such an uptick in the kind of attacks that you saw in the street and people suffering on their own because they didn't have the mental health drugs, because those drugs simply couldn't be stockpiled. We eventually found the same thing with foods that weren't produced in the UK. And the trouble with the UK was we don't produce our own food. We never have. For hundreds of years, we produced under half of our own food. So as soon as those walls went up, we started having significant material problems in the country. I mean, Britain always told itself it had this national myth, right, that it would, because it got through the war, that it could go through any kind of hardship. I mean, that wasn't really the case. Actually, people during the war were far more frightened than some of this historical stuff makes out. Now, what did we see? People don't want to go through that stuff. They were desperate for the things that they had before, and they were scared. So they went to the black market. The same thing that always happens. And where did the growth of Clan Kelly come from? It came from people wanting the things that they could previously get legitimately and could now only get through the black market, funneling funds towards criminality. And from there, we got to the situation we have now of this bit of war between criminals and security that seems to dominate what's going on out there on the streets.
Nothing shakes people's faith in capitalism quite as much as when capitalism fails to deliver. Here's underground writer and analyst Alfie, The Politics of Poverty.
I think what we've come to now is a realization that capitalism has essentially failed. I mean, the one key promise of capitalism that it makes to its citizens is that there will be surplus, that we will have plenty, and that's the whole logic for running society in this way, that people will have enough. And now, with these kind of huge shortages of everything, you're seeing that system collapse. It hasn't delivered on its primary promise. And I think we've really reached the situation where we have to do away with capitalism entirely. We're seeing a situation where there's shortages for the many, but for a few individuals, there's an elite who are not struggling and short of anything. So this is kind of fundamental inequality of a capitalist system, which is no longer producing the goods for most of us. Shortages are being used as well. I'm not saying that there isn't a real shortage. There possibly is real shortages, but shortages are being used as an excuse for those in power, those elites, to keep what.
I've been on the grind so long that nobody on this earth can take me down. So FYI, you can't take me down. No bad minds can break me. Sitting in my room just trying to figure out how I can turn a penny to a pound. So if you want a verse, do that quick. And if you want a verse, you can pay me now. No longness, no small talk. All of them guys are up talk. Rhyme hip hop got awesome. When I'm awesome. What about you? I'm a 5-star work rate, Liverpool champion. Wordplay, punchlines on time, and I want top 5 songwriting and top lines. I can do it all. I'm a top guy.
Auto drive now disabled. Auto drive now enabled.
Find whoever's hacking this vehicle.
When was the last time I smiled? Cause it's feeling like ages. I tell them I'm sick of breaking down. I tell them I'm sick of waiting. They tell me I need some patience. They tell me I need some patience. I tell them I'm sick of breaking down. I tell them I'm sick of waiting. They tell me I need some patience. They tell me I need some patience. I need friends and love over peas and people who actually love me for me. Deep like a black hole, mean like Debo. Lit on a Friday, standard normal. Jaeger and Magnum, sitting in a club with a blondie Pfeiffer. Loves what I does. Ain't got a car, so I'm sitting on a bus. Bars at your head top, letting it bust. Casual, I'm an animal, crime scene general. Yeah, I'm on better phone, better than I've ever been. Yeah, I heard your crap bars, and it made me laugh like Benidorm. Over and under, bang with the bars, then bang with the thunder. Light skin princess, back up the bumper. Yeah, it's all mad in the dunya, trust me. Put some respect on my name, you better check what you say. I wanna talk for a sec, cause I got plenty to say. I got plenty of people around me, I don't trust in my head. When was the last time I smiled, cause it's feeling like ages. I tell them I'm sick of breaking down, I tell them I'm sick of waiting. They tell me I need some patience, they tell me I need some patience. I tell them I'm sick of breaking down, I tell them I'm sick of waiting. They tell me I need some patience, they tell me I need some patience. Put some respect on my name, you better check what you say. I wanna talk for a sec, cause I got plenty to say. I got plenty of people around me, I don't trust in my head. When was the last time I smiled, cause it's feeling like ages. I tell them I'm sick of breaking down, I tell them I'm sick of waiting. They tell me I need some patience, they tell me I need some patience. I tell them I'm sick of breaking down, I tell them I'm sick of waiting. They tell me I need some patience, they tell me I need some patience. They tell me I need some patience.
Last year, nearly half of British parliamentarians were Auto drive now disabled. 60% of votes. Even our Prime Minister recently set a record for most days spent outside the country in a calendar year. So who's running the show? Join us on GBB tonight to find out.
Hey, you think about helping the resistance?
Yo, you with DedSec? Hype, I need your help.
We can try. What's the problem?
Look, I got this mate, yeah? We ran with some activists, like protesting Albion and that. Things turned to a clash last time we protested, and they kicked the shit out of my mate and shoved him in an ambulance.
Then they fed us a load of bullshit. Said my mate died, but not one of us has seen a body, have we?
That's just horrible.
It just didn't seem right, you know? Like, I just need some answers. You get me those answers, and I'll owe you a favor. Maybe even 2.
Sounds like a nasty business. I'll send word of this through the network.
Auto drive now enabled.
Jump the division.
Knew I'd be short on my time, so let me make it so clear. I've been out on my own, I found nothing to fear. I keep it running like hot water wherever I go. And I've been down on my luck, but I ain't never been low. It's like, we're only going up, so why you shooting us down? Like you've never been low. Make it a double and make it disappear. Only here for the moment, grab me this heaven there. You know I'll never be stopped, you know I'll never be stopped, you know I'll never be stopped, you know I'll never be.
Never been down with a four face stock in your pounds up. All the weight on my shoulders, boy, back up. Women soldiers, check how you clapped up. Close casting, I get wrapped up. Start a riot, this is jealous, can't stop. Nigga, let's crime stop. Right, I know that's what. Hand off my cash, acting like a rat cunt. Some fat cat need a slap with a hot one. Bomb crews out of Hyde Park. Suit in a boot, ties on the sidewalk. 20s don't big ego. When he walks, please bump and I'm leaving my line and shotguns with me like we go hoof in the dark. Muzzle me not, cause I go hoof when I talk. I never stop till my crew on top when I cruise on the clock and my hands on my clock.
Not that manipulation, no more control of the population. We are not fooled by your fake information. So we're taking over all your media stations. Rise to the top with eyes on the clock. We're gonna get it back, we're gonna stop to the crop. Should be starving as we do, carving our way through. No me telling us you really have no clue. Greedy, are you feeling me? When we say we're gonna take all your money, are you ready to hang on a tree? You fruit, but you forget we are seeds. And we're rising, sympathizing with all legions in the streets uprising. Coming back at you with a brand new tantalizing freedom, watering this and fertilizing.
Ringing a tune in a realm of violence, hitting their cause, spreading their laws. People in poverty dying on floor. They're in your houses, in your cars.
Filming is commencing for the Global British Broadcasting.
This dead human downloaded lines of code from the Black Cab network mere moments before dying. It appears the network has been tampered with, and poorly. This code is amateurish, crammed in there like a pack of crayons in a dim child's nose. There's even a comment attached to the code.
What does it say?
No words, just bit strings, gibberish, and not enough of it to compile any useful data.
So some hacker's taken control of London's black cabs to commit murder?
Exactly, but I need more data to be sure.
We ought to download these bit strings from some other cabs. Well, the more data we compile, the better we can pinpoint this hacker and where they're operating.
Auto drive now. Auto drive now disabled. Vehicle in critical condition. Please exit immediately.
There's a time to be casual. There's a time to blend in. And there's a time a chap has to be a chap. Tailored, measured, delivered with a dash of panache. Abbott and Brown.
It's what you got, badly boy.
The same crude code with bit strings in a comment. I'll try converting them.
Danger. Vehicle in critical condition. Please exit immediately.
Rush past.
All we ask.
Danger.
Let us.
What the hell was that?
So these bit strings came from an audio file and not, as I suspected, from someone kicking their keyboard down a spiral staircase. Pack another cab and I can decode the rest.
We need to move quickly before more murder cabs kill people.
Control, I'm ready to immobilize the target.
No sign of the target. Over.
I now have enough bit strings to complete the audio file. Let's see.
With all due respect, these are Broker Tech employees, your employees being run over by your product. Don't you want what's best for your employees?
Skye Larson knows full well what is best for her employees, Lieutenant, and that is why the black cabs will remain operational.
But surely taking the cabs offline wouldn't affect your bottom line?
All we ask is for Albion's cooperation as we resolve the situation internally. Let us worry about our bottom line.
Wait, did they say Broker Tech employees are getting killed by their own technology?
I've gone over all the victims of black cabicide and they all have two things in common. Very poor reflexes and their employer, Broker Tech.
I suppose that means the black cab is run by one of Skye Larson's neural mapped AI.
That's right, a former cabbie. Broker Tech partnered with the city to automate their cabs and now the cabs are getting their revenge.
Well, that can't run. What do we do to stop this?
We still need to find this AI's location. Hack into another cab and I'll see if it has a readable user history.
How we live the best life, but I see the face in the real. I see the jealousy build, yeah. I see the
Download complete. It appears the code alterations have been coming from a parking garage in Westminster.
I can't believe we're actually gonna help those broker bastards, but I guess that evil bitch Skye is to blame for all of this, not her employees.
The creator-creation relationship can be a dark and complex thing. See Frankenstein, bride of Frankenstein, son of Frankenstein.
I got it, Bugs. The world city's fucked enough without rubbish like this AI running around. Let's shut it down.
I got eyes on my surroundings. Enemies worth money, but families worth diamonds. Friends come and go when it rains, when it snows, but the loyal ones stay through the pain, through the cold.
Auto drive now enabled. Auto drive now enabled.
Came out of nowhere, hijacked the snare, them rappers claim no fair. Oh yeah, grab them by the nose hair. You know what, though, we don't care, so there. Get straight to it, that's how we do it, like there ain't nothing to it. A set, dedication and practice. Oh, you reckon actually it's raw talent? Some have it, most don't though. On the down low, like the rap Steve Ditko. Watching Ovid video, and what's the scenario? Live on Arsenio. Darth Maul in the Abbey Square Mall. Old school right rhymes in cuneiform. That's cool if they ain't all feel it. We still come equipped with a surefire lyric like blah.
Over-regging it. Over-regging it. You're over-regging it.
Yeah, like blah.
Over-regging it. Over-regging it. You're over-regging it.
Yeah, what? Your crew think they murked us. Nah, bruv, made them think that on purpose. Burst through the universe, drop an illmatic verse as the one chief chirper. Red blue-collar workers, silver shadows, an army surplus. We be the Viking berserkers who swing from the rafters and burn down the churches. Whether it's bikinis or burkas, respect women cause women have birthed us. Mother Nature deserved nurture, without her we wouldn't walk upon the earth's surface. Surf's up though I come from the tundra, strangled the lightning, stamped on the thunder. Quickening and put my punk cool mongrels, I'm telling you the world's not wonder.
Over-regging it. Over-regulate. You're over-regulate. Yeah. Over-regulate. Over-regulate. You're over-regulate. Yeah.
Jigger me, as we predicted, pushing 40 and still doing this shit. That takes the biscuit, but don't get it twisted, the kid mad gifted. Spit a sick lyric for those who missed it. When he goes in, crowds go ballistic, innit? Well, in his mind anyway, that's where he lived most days, so it's okay. Trying to make a smooth getaway, catch up on Huxley, Hergé and Hemingway. Stay conflicted, either lost faith or it never existed. Did psychedelics kickstart religion? Written in stone for the cataclysm, the year we're living in, ain't a given thing. 2, 5, 1, no, a million.
Over-regulate. Over-regulate. You're over-regulate. Yeah. Over-regulate. Over-regulate. You're over-regulate. Oh.
They hacked it, and, you know, he lost everything.
They said it was safe.
The dealer transferred the funds using cryptocurrency.
They said it was crime-free.
Well, it's new jobs, isn't it? Gotta have new jobs.
They said it was patriotic. They lied. Cryptocurrency. If you can't see it, how can you really trust it?
Run up on me, run up on O. Don't make me show you how bad a man move. I don't get around when I'm clapping up for you. You will get spun like crash by the cool. You must be crazy or a damn fool. That you can burst man shade like fruit. I want you when you're out like your mother shampoo. When you get bust out your crepes when you try and cool. God, you don't wanna see me in the ring, cause I'll stop the taste of how you